Hey guys at HotRod Garage, Freiburger Finnegan. I hope you guys are doing alright. My name is Evan. This is my introduction video about myself. I am 27 years old. I've been welding for 10 years. I've been doing auto mechanics professionally for about 7. I've been reading manuals since I was 15, and I've been speaking English for about 25. So I guess that makes myself pretty qualified under your guys' standard. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my car that I'm building right now. It's very similar to your guys' Rotson. It's a 1985 Toyota Corolla. Pretty roadkill worthy, as you can see. No windshield, some minor rust, but it is pretty modified, as I can say for myself. I'm going to show you a little bit about what I've done to the car. Alright guys, I'm going to walk you through some of the modifications done to my car so far. It's the front shock. As you can see, it's an adjustable coilover. I put some Coney race shocks in there. I shortened the tube housing. Put some aftermarket QA1 coilovers. It's pretty fancy. As you see, the brakes are still stock so far, but I have RX-7 calipers that I'm going to be putting on soon once I get the caliper brackets made from my old school that I did my welding class at, and I'll show you what's next. Right now we're here at the back of the car. As you can see, the previous owner did a very shitty job at fixing the rear fender flares and just made it worse, but you know, I just took it off and it's still ugly. I haven't fixed it yet. But here's the rear shocks that I put on. There are QA1 coilovers, full aluminum threaded bodies. Made some adapter plates, as you can see right here, so that I don't need to bash in the motor or anything, so it just fits perfectly. This is a differential from a 1981 Celica Supra. I made custom forelinks, adjustable forelinks. That still uses the urethane bushings, and so far that's a suspension. I'll show you what else I've done. I'm going to talk a little bit about the transmission I'm going to be using for my setup with the 3.8 liter into my 85 Corolla. You can see down here, this is a Borg & Warner T5 world-class transmission out of a 1997 Chevrolet Camaro or Firebird, whichever one it came out of. Doesn't matter, it's the same car. The weird thing is I couldn't use the shifter on it, but I'm going to explain that in a second, exactly why I couldn't use it. I can see here this bell housing from the Camaro. As you see, the transmission will be tilted a bit towards the driver's side. For whatever reason they use that, that's just the way they did it. But I can't use that, so I ended up doing some research and finding out that one from an S10 2.2 liter from 1995 has a straight pattern, so that would be perfect for this car, but it had an external slave cylinder, which took up a lot of room, but I ended up cutting that off. I'm going to be patching it up in the next few days. And the reason, so that's the reason why I couldn't use the shifter, but this shifter here is actually from a Ford Mustang. I ended up actually cutting it out, putting the shaft onto the Camaro shaft holder part here, and you literally had to cut it and then re-weld it back on. And so you can actually have a straight shifter, because the Camaro one was very wonky and it wouldn't have worked. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the motor that I'm putting in. It's a 1997 Buick Regal GS 3.8 supercharged. There's a few things about this motor that is not like stock or made, like this oil pan. This is actually from Australia, from the Holden Commodore, which came with a 3.8 and in a rear-wheel drive conversion that was made it to a T5 transmission. This is my engine mount. Driver's side, fully custom. I made it myself. I literally just finished this one yesterday. This one I finished the day before with one of my buddies who helped me out. The oil filter housing is also from Australia, from the 3.8 Holden Commodore. As you can see, I don't have headers on it. I bought some Camaro headers, hoping that it would fit perfectly, but obviously, you know, in the real world, nothing ever fits perfectly, especially when you're putting a GM into a Toyota. So that's that so far. I'll show you what else I've done. Alright guys, putting my motor into my Corolla. Doing this by myself, which is probably not the safest. Don't ever go into the motor. Obviously, not smart. It's a lot easier, obviously, with 2 people. Hopefully I can do this alone. I'm sure it could. always fun. Oh, yeah, there we go. Hopefully this is going to drop right in and be absolutely a perfect fit. It's the first time I'm going to see this motor in the car, complete, like bolted up by itself. The other day I had one engine mount done and had it, you know, sitting where I think it would have been. Show exactly the clearance I did with me and my buddy. If everything goes in good. Just can't see both sides at the same time. I wish my buddy was here. Looks like it's going to clear, because the biggest issue with this car was the starter hitting the steering column. So I really was hoping that with this oil pan and everything, obviously, hoping everything would fit perfectly. Should put my head under there, just in case I fuck up and kill myself. And that would be bad. I have a video of my murder or suicide, whatever you would call it. See? Yeah. She almost in. This side cleared. Other side. Almost in. Just move everything over a bit. Still in. Just going in. Huh. Look at that, like a glove. All right. Again, obviously. Alright, you see guys how it just fit nicely. Pretty much both sides. Look at that. Look how beautiful. And look at this clearance for the oil pan. Oil pan and crank pulley from the sway bar. Look at this clearance from the starter. As you can see, try to turn the steering. See how much clearance there is? Just enough. Nothing touching. Everything perfect. So, that's my video, guys. Hope you had fun.